transmission from a plane that had flown. It shows clear as day the missiles being built. Though not yet operational, we have to act still.
This is crazy, this is bad. What can we do about this?
I'll call a meeting of the officials I trust most. With the right course of action, the Russians we can roast.
Listen, Castro, don't you worry about a thing. The U.S. won't find out. This will keep socialism rising.
And why must it be a secret? It will give them reason to fight. We want peace here on Cuba, not violence every night.
It will help you defend from their imperialistic ways.
But it'll give them even more reason to make us their prey.
What's done is done. They are being built. It'll help you in the end. Two communist nations work together. The Soviets are your friends.
Khrushchev must be right. After all, these missiles are purely defensive. It will strengthen the socialist bloc. We have a right to defend ourselves after the Bay of Pigs. Sides, I know they're pros, with their pros, there comes some cons, so we can barely afford. Some say all we can do is invade their small nation, but have another repeat of the Bay of Pigs invasion. They say it's our only option. The U.S. has to make known we're forced to do it. A military attack doesn't come without a price. We must realize that this is not the right way. We are a country of integrity. Protect freedoms, not reduce them, but still we must act. We must take a course that spares life, but also show the Russians we can win in this fight. A blockade can do this greatly if we execute it right. The Russians will pull back. They don't even have to fight. As president, I make the calls, but we all take the blows. The fate of the earth rests on my shoulders. I hope to God that I'm right, and this crisis will end, hopefully, overnight.
Imagine, Mr. President, what if we had presented such an ultimatum to you as you have to us? I, for one, think you would be outraged, and this we could understand. Mr. President, you have thrown down the gauntlet. By what right have you done this?
The purpose of these missile bases are none other than to provide a nuclear strike against the Western Hemisphere. Should these offensive preparations continue, further action will be justified.
Our ties with Cuba, as well as our relations with other nations concern only the two countries between them. If it's a matter of quarantine, established only by the states, agreeing between themselves and not by some third party.
You stated you would never place missiles in Cuba. It shall be the policy of this nation to regard any attack by Cuba on the Western Hemisphere as an attack by the Soviets. United States crying a full retaliatory response from us.
You are not declaring a quarantine. You're saying that if we do not obey your orders, you will then use force. And you want to persuade me to agree to this. It would mean for us to conduct our relations with other nations, not by reason, but by yielding to tyranny. However, I think it would be possible to end the controversy quickly and normalize the situation. Then the people could breathe more easily.
I've given my representatives in New York instructions that will permit them to work out a permanent solution to the Cuban problem. You would agree to remove any missiles from Cuba and to halt the further introduction of such weapon systems into Cuba.
We are willing to remove the means which you regard as offensive. We only ask the United States government makes a declaration to the effect, within the framework of the Security Council regarding Cuba, that the United States will respect the inviolability of Cuba's borders and its sovereignty, as well as respect its internal affairs and not invade Cuba or make its territory a bridgehead for such an invasion.
We would agree to remove promptly the quarantine measures now in effect and to give assurance against invasion.
Our representatives will make statements to the effect that the United States, in order to bring peace to the people, will remove its analogous means from Turkey. Well, Jack, we've learned a lot from this confrontation, but I think you handled it perfectly. With your leadership, the U.S. was able to stand strong in our stance against communism. But at the same time, we are able to push away arrogance and step into the shoes of other nations across the world. If we had not handled this crisis with the care that we did show, it could have been a catastrophe. Is that well, Jack?
Hopefully this crisis will mean future relations with the Soviets will be more peaceful and reasonable. We both realize now more than ever the drastic effect either of our nation's decisions could have on the entire world. Hopefully this will be a new dawn of new cosmopolitan, positive relations.
Our hotline from our Kremlin to your White House is a step in a new direction.
Yes, this improved communication system will help us in the future. Instead of relying on telegram letters that can travel overseas, we can simply pick up the phone and be instantly connected.
Occurring by accident or miscalculation.
This has revolutionized future relations. Good evening. I'll now open the floor for questions.
Yes, Mr. President, would you like to comment on the effect that the nuclear arms race and the arms race itself has had on America?
Yes. 18 years ago, the advent of nuclear weapons changed the course of not only the United States, but the entire world. Since all mankind has been struggling to escape the darkening prospect of destruction of mankind, the world of communism and the world of free choice have been caught up in a vicious circle of ideology and interest. Each increase in tension has brought about an increase in arms. Each increase in arms, an increase in tension.
Can you explain what your administration intends to do to solve this problem?
Yes. In these years, the United States and the Soviet Union have frequently communicated suspicion and warnings to each other, but very rarely hope. Yesterday, a shaft of light cut into the darkness. Negotiations were concluded in Moscow for a treaty to ban all nuclear testing in the atmosphere, on land, and underground.
And what does this mean for the world?
Well, the treaty initialed yesterday offers a new welcome sign of hope. But the achievement of this goal is not only a victory for one side, it's a victory for mankind. It reflects simply our common recognition of the dangers of further nuclear testing. This treaty is not a millennium. It will not resolve all conflicts or cause the communists to forego their ambitions. It will not eliminate the dangers of war. It will not reduce our need for arms or allies or programs of assistance for others. But it's an important first step. A step towards peace, a step towards reason, a step away from war. For the first time in many years, the path of peace may be open. No one can be certain what the future may bring, but history and our own conscience will judge us harsher if we do not take every effort to test our hopes by action. And this is the place to begin. According to the ancient Chinese proverb, a journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. My fellow Americans, let us take that first step. Let us be the ones to step back from the dangers of war. Let us be the ones that history recorded that on this day and this time, we were the ones to take that